Allison Jordan. Repair, renew, reclaim. And now your host, Allison Jordan.
Hi, everybody. Renew. I still listen to my music. I don't hear it. Hey, everybody. I'm back. This is 1.8 of the Brain Truth. How's everybody doing? Can you turn that up? It sounds so low. Why it sounds so low? One week we gonna get my theme music together. I want it to be a club. I told y'all this is a club song that I'm gonna be using as, my house music produced by the Jesse Saunders. Hey, Earl. Earl, our executive producer's in the house. This is 1.8 of the Brain Truth with Allison Jordan on intellectualradio.com and iHeartRadio station. I'm excited to be here. I want to get right into the Brain Truth, our little disclaimer, so that we can get going because we've got a really cool show today. The Brain Truth does not serve the purpose of providing medical treatment or therapy services, diagnosis, prevention, or cure for any physical, mental, or emotional issue, disease, or condition. As a member of our audience, you agree that the Brain Truth does not assume liability for any physical or mental disease, condition, or issue, or any other type of loss or damage due to any information shared on our broadcast. Okay, let's get into it. So our sponsors are Gemini Labs, again, in a partnership with Swabs and Swirls. We all got our swabs today. We can kiss freely. We are COVID free. So remember, if you ever want to have us come and test you guys rapid, whether it's a wedding or an event or a special occasion, we'll come in and do some rapid. So there's some holidays coming up right now. The holiday season, we'll come to your house, your family coming in from out of town, we'll swab them, make sure you have a safe holiday. So if you need to get in touch with us, it's swabsandswirls@gmail.com. That's swabsandswirl@gmail.com. If you guys want to get a rapid COVID test and be safe for the holidays. Dr. Rita Lifestyles, Pretty 1-2 Cosmetics. I'm still waiting for my lip gloss. NAMI South Suburbs, as you know that I am a board member. We just had our burgers and blankets this past Saturday. It was so cool. We collected over 250 blankets and we gave away 200 burgers and fries. And that was in partnership with Lassen Sap in Homewood, Illinois. And I want you guys to know, remember last year that I told you guys I spent 19 days in the psychiatric hospital at River Edge Hospital. They are officially our partner. So I want to give a shout out to River Edge Hospital, who is now a major sponsor of the Brain Truth. And we're doing a lot of great collaboration together. Epic Arts and Entertainment, Patch Party Club, Brain Truth Wakana. And today, where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? I don't even know what I did with it. He came and took my box for me. I have brought some Wakana products. I was going to give it to my guests. We were going to mellow out today. But somebody took my, oh, no, let me see. I'm talking about people. I am talking about people. I am so sorry. I take it all back. I don't know who I was talking to, but I've got some Wakana products today. I've got some sleep, sex, and inflammation. I've got some power. I think, Earl, what did you think about the gummies that I gave you? Did you like it? I got some more today, y'all. So remember, this stuff is good. Like when I told you guys, I titrated under the supervision of my psychiatrist off of my antidepressants about 8 months ago. And now I take this, gummies from Wakana. And remember, it was founded by 4 incredible Black women. And they were like the first African-American women dispensary in the state of Illinois. So we've got all kind of stuff. They've got stuff for when I work out. We've got some pain cream. Where my pain cream at? This stuff right here is the bomb. I'll put this on everything. I'll put this shit on everything. Sorry. I won't put $1 in there, Earl. Sorry. Anyway, go to wakana.com // the Brain Truth. And that's where you can get some of these incredible products. Bucks. Indeed, champs. And then I've got a great announcement. I have our very new sponsor. It's the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. They are officially one of our sponsors. And so we are going to be doing a lot of stuff with them. We're going to be doing a lot of things together in collaboration, especially during suicide awareness. And there's a lot of stuff that you guys can learn about that too. So let's get into it. I think, are we good? Are we good, everybody? Okay. So we're about to get into it because I want to bring on this incredible guest. She's so beautiful. She's my sister girl. She is gorgeous and she is so magical. I have a whole story. So I'm going to bring her on. Her name is Syreeta Talbert. She's going to tell a little bit more about herself, but she's a philanthropist and a grief and trauma life coach. After the murder of her son, Jalen, in 2017, and I have a story. I don't even know if I told her this story, but Syreeta founded Jalen's Journey, an organization that seeks to create a safe space for Black men to process their exposure to violence, particularly gun violence, and the impact it has on their mental and emotional health. She is the epitome of turning heartbreak into healing. So I want to bring on my sister friend, my sister girl. I don't even know how she's here. I watch. This is Syreeta, everybody. Welcome to the show, Syreeta. Now, a lot of people, they have to look at me, but you're here. You're there. Oh, she needs. Oh, shoot. We see, we didn't do no sound check with her. Turn me down. Okay, hold on. See, we ain't never had this problem. And how do I do it? I don't know how to do it. I got to turn myself down, everybody. Oops. I don't know how to do it. Am I going to be echoing? Okay. I need to turn myself down, which I've never had to do. Oh, here. Okay. Now, how am I doing now? Am I good? Am I good? Syreeta, can you say something? She wasn't in here she a busy lady. She just Syreeta, I just saw you in California. Were you in California? Where were you? I'm like, what do you mean Syreeta's on the show? How's she on the show? Would you get on a private jet?
I would. I'm working on it. I'm working it out.
Hi, Syreeta. I have something for you.
I like goodies.
This is flowers for her. You know how you say, give people their flowers while they're here? I brought her some flowers because, okay, you have no idea. She was coming, it's right here. She was coming to my house, y'all. Last year, did you even know what was going on with me? You don't even know. I could barely get out of the bed. So you know that I spent 19 days in a psychiatric hospital. From June, From June 27th to July 15th, I went down. And she was coming to my house. I get emotional every show. But this woman was coming to my house. She brought me groceries. This was the heart of the pandemic.
Right, and it was the water issue.
I had the water issue in University Park. We got Flint, Michigan water, y'all. And then you came and you danced. You brought me toilet tissue. She brought me wine. She brought me all these things. And then you came back. I don't know who you're with, but they had on bunny outfits.
Bacteria.
And oh my God. And they danced in front of my window. And you brought me candy and Easter stuff. And I just cried. And because you didn't know, like those acts of love, you know, when you talk about the word love and it's a verb, you are the true epitome of love as a verb. And it was healing in a way that it's like, I can't even describe what you did for me. And
don't you crying because then you're gonna get me to crying.
Well, I'm just being real. Like you have a way, and I've watched you even when you came recently and you brought me the candle. And that was the most brilliant thing I've ever seen with the barcode and all this high tech stuff. And you don't know. And we're going to get into your story, but because I know your story and the fact that you show up for people all the time, it's just, you're extraordinary. That's all I can say is you are extraordinary. And Jalen He's got to be up there just like that is my mother. That is the rock star. And God has so much planned for you. Like, oh my God, I'm just honored and humbled that you're here because you are a force to be reckoned with. And you helped me during the hardest time. I don't know if you knew when I came home from the hospital, my husband left me 2 weeks after that. And I just want you to know right now, in front of everybody, that I love you and I thank you. And you were part of saving my life.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just knew that you posted about the water issue in Flint, and I didn't post about it. I just immediately went to the store, stocked up, and then I knew it was the pandemic, and so, toilet tissue was running low.
And I don't know how you did it, but
you
you found the toilet paper when nobody else had toilet paper. You brought all the toilet paper to me. People were coming to me. I was like, wait a second, you got all the toilet paper? Ask Syreeta. I don't know, but she got me all the tissue.
And I know it was, sometimes you don't want to intrude on people's space, but I know that you posted about it.
Yeah.
And so, I inboxed you. He's like, I want to bring you something. Because I've just learned that when God put something on my heart for me to move.
Yes.
And he said, go take stuff out to her.
I
had no idea.
So obedient.
And then on my way to your house, and I know we'll talk about this, it was very eerie at the same time, because anytime I come to that part of University Park, it'd say, you were literally right around the corner from where Jaylen was murdered.
Yes.
So it's just the feelings of.
It was that day. And so the day was in 2017.
August 29th.
August 29th. And it was in the evening.
Yeah, well, I think it was like
it was in the evening. It was like evening. 6 or something like that.
We were celebrating my father's 75th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had all family over. And about 9:00, I received a call. And just how I operate, if I don't have the number in my phone, I'm not answering it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just one of those gut instinct things that says, pick this number, pick it up.
Yeah.
So I answered the line, and the lady, real sweet, real nice, was just, Miss Talbert, do you have a son named Jaylen? You need to come to, the hospital. And immediately I said, is he dead?
Really?
Is he hurt? And she was just like, you just need to come. So part of that, because she didn't say yes, I was just like, okay, well, he's not dead. So since majority of the family was there, I'm just like, Jaylen's been in an accident. I'll be back. He's
speaking to your microphone. People want to hear you.
Sorry.
They're all talking to me. I'm sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Okay. Talk right into it. Just like this.
Like this?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Much different. So I went down Cicero. My parents live right off 167th and Cicero.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I got to probably 119.
Mm-hmm.
And I called my aunt, who had previously just left to take my grandfather, who was probably 97 at the time, home. And I said, Auntie, I'm not feeling right. I think my life just changed. I need you to meet me at the hospital. And she said, I'm on my way.
Okay.
So I get there, and it felt like the Matrix. It was police all around. It was very busy in the emergency room. And, I'm like, I'm here to see my son, Jaylen. He was brought in here. And they ushered me to like this little room. And they were like, the doctor will be in here soon. And I'm like, I don't want to hear nothing until my aunt gets here. So as soon as she gets in, she's a retired Cook County sheriff. So, of course, she's peeping out the scene and asking questions. And at that time, the lady from the chapel, but I didn't know who she was at the time. I just knew she was a nice little like lady. And she's holding my hand, and this black, gorgeous ER doctor woman walked in. So I'm looking at her, and she has on a white coat, and I just pull on the tail of it as she walks. She's literally walking past, so I pull the tail, and I said, "Is he dead?" And she said, "Yes." And I
Wow.
said, she was just like, "He was shot one time in the back of the head."
Look in there. They're looking. Look
Oh,
there.
I'm sorry.
I'm getting going off on by all my producers. I'm sorry. We friends, y'all. We just having a conversation. Sorry. Okay.
So I asked, could I see him? And she says, sure. So she's talking and she's kind of giving me a little information about what's going on. And as we're walking to the room, I see my brother, who, not my brother, sorry, one of my brother's best friend. And this is my brother who unfortunately was murdered himself 20 years prior.
I saw that.
So his best
almost
friend's
to
wife,
the day.
Almost. So my
Okay.
son was shot on my father's 75th birthday. My brother was murdered 6 days after my birthday in October of 97. So Jalen was in 2017. And my brother's best friend's wife was on a gurney. And it was like the Matrix, it just stopped. And I asked, "Are you okay, Martha?" And she's just like, "Yeah, why?" And I'm just like, "Well, what are you doing here? Do I need to call?
Yeah.
Your husband, are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm having respiratory." And she says, "Why are you here?" And I remember distinctively me saying, "Well, they tell me Jalen was shot and he was murdered, but are you okay?" And she said, "I'm good. Go see about your son." And so when I tell you, it was just like everything stopped. We had this conversation. I said, "Okay, I'm going to go see him." The gurney rolls away from her, and we go in the room, and at the time they had not cleaned him up. So it was,
Okay. So I don't know if I shared this with you, but that day I was sitting in my living room when that happened. And it must be he must have been a powerful force.
he is.
Because it was like, I remember that happening because, it's a quiet community.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't hear stuff like that. And it sounded like it was right there. And I literally felt it in my spirit.
It was
And
right around the block from your house.
I started crying. I was in the living room. I said, something just happened. I was telling my husband, something just happened. He's like, what? And it was as if he was gone to what we call a new role.
And they said from the doctor, she said he didn't feel it. It happened instantaneously. And just so happened about a week later, one of my sister girlfriends encouraged my brother and I to go see a Reiki.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what that was.
Okay.
Or what the experience was. And the very first thing that she did, because I'm laying on this bed and I'm trying to figure out, well, what are you doing? Am I going to massage? Are you a psychic?
Right.
What are you doing?
A Reiki, they massage people, right?
Well, they kind of balance your chakras.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she was more of like a medium. It's not that I never believed in that gift that people have.
Right.
I never experienced it myself. But as soon as she put her hands like over me, she immediately said, "Oh my gosh, his grin is huge. His energy," and she got the shakes. And I'm looking at her like, "Well, who are you talking about?" And she's just like, "Your son. I feel his energy and his grin is huge." And on his obituary, he has this huge grin. And as she's talking, she says, "He told me to tell you that he didn't feel it. It happened so instantaneously that he kind of looked up back at himself and was like, 'Oh my gosh, I've been shot.'" And I was like, okay. So I'm still being skeptical. But then when she said, he told me he was wearing blue and white, a jogging suit.
Did he have on a blue and white jogging suit?
Blue and white
wow.
Adidas outfit. And she said, and there's video of him right after it happened. And my brother and I had just found out that
there's video.
Someone recorded my son on the ground.
What?
And,
okay, so
unfortunately, that was, to me, the last image that I see of my son.
So you weren't at the party with your dad? You weren't there?
No, we were at my parents' house.
Right.
And literally, we were waiting for my son.
So he was walking from somewhere or
No,
just by the
so
park
I
or?
seen him first thing in the morning,
Mhm.
and he told
What a
me, he
mood.
said,
Keep talking.
he took my truck, and I have like the GPS on my truck. So he was one place, and I was like, hey, Jalen, I need you to get home so I could get my day started. You know, we got to da-da-da. So he gets home, he comes in the house, and he comes in my room, and he gives me the biggest hug. And he was just like, Mom, I want you to come outside and meet somebody. And usually he brings people in the house, so I'm fussing at him like, don't bring people in the house or let them wait on the front porch. But this time he was like, I want you to come out. So I got dressed, went outside, and I stay like in a private courtyard. So there's a grassy knoll area in front of my house. And I just remember standing there, and he introduces me to the two guys that he eventually left with. And I remember feeling kind of weird that day, but you know,
Mother's instinct.
mother's instinct. But I got what a lot of people did not get. His last words to me were, I love you. I was like, I love you too. I was like, all right, be safe. I'll see you later. He's like, I love you, Mom. And then I watched him get into the vehicle. And as they pulled off, him laughing. Because I said a joke or something as they were walking. So those last precious moments, a lot of people don't get to hear the words, I love you.
Yes.
And then just to hear joy and laughter in his mouth or, you know, echo out of his mouth. So he went off, was with people all day. And unfortunately, it's still in investigation.
So it's still an ongoing investigation.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, COVID hit, so that was like a year down. So with my brother, we were able to, not we, but the police were able to catch the guys who murdered my brother instinctively. So in this case, you know, it's 4 years later. We're dealing with the only African American community in Will County. So at the beginning, it was a lot of miscommunication between such a small unit in University Park and the Will County Task Force. Me having to go to Joliet to deal with the sheriffs and kind of being disrespected and having to write the higher ups about how they approached me, because I had to tell them that you might deal with people, one person or people that don't ask questions, but we don't rock like that. We come 10 strong. We move as one unit. We have questions. You know, we're not an ignorant family.
Right.
We're going to hold you all accountable. And they didn't like that. So that kind of put a lot of pressure, not a lot of pressure, just a lot of anxiety of, are you all trying to solve this case, or do you think it's one of those where Black people gonna kill, you know, each other?
So who are the guys that he left with? I mean, they're not suspects?
And again,
did you know who they were? You didn't know?
That was my first time meeting him. And like I said, Jalen had never, ever asked me to come outside the house to introduce me to anyone. I always would be like, I mean, he did the exact opposite of what I would fuss. He actually had me come outside. So it was just, again, just.
And you didn't know who they were? You don't have any, remember what kind of car or nothing?
Oh, no, I remember like the car. So I was able to describe that, the people. So the young kids, they put their ears to the ground, were able to get intel back to us. We were able to give that information to the cops.
Okay.
One of the guys had just got out of prison. So this is somebody that he knew like back in 7th, 8th grade, reconnected recently, because I had all the phone records. So, you know, these were things that were expressed to the police. And I think initially they were handling it like, you know, unfortunately, the streets would take care of itself. What they didn't know is that my son was not of the streets. He was 3 months shy graduating with his bachelor's from Tribeca in audio engineering and
Yeah, so
recording.
tell me about Jalen, because I saw video of him. He could rap. He was fine. He was you.
Yes. But he was me
Yeah,
2.0, no, I say like 8.0.
a girl, definitely.
His energy just people think I'm a magnet, but he literally was a magnet and a draw for somebody his age to deal with the elderlies. They loved him. And I mean, he spent quality time with his grandfather. It wasn't like, oh, I got to go to this old man's house. Like
Right.
they spent quality time, even with my father. Like he had great men influences in his family, and he sucked it up from our brothers, Kappa brothers, to my male friends, to people in the music industry that he knew. He was just
He
a
was
free
just that.
spirited child. He loved being on my flight benefits, and so I think the parties involved mistook that he must have had this lavish, and I guess to them it seemed lavish. He's traveling all over, not
Jealousy.
really, not
that
really
gen-
that the mother's working, right, for these
Right.
travel privileges
Wow.
for him.
Yeah.
That his uncle is a well-known entertainment attorney, and so he has influential clients that my son to them, that's Auntie Serena.
So how's your dad? I mean, this happened at his birthday party, and the whole family was there. And
So
how's that with
I
dad?
purposely made sure that
Move that over here because she's looking at me. So just move it here because she gonna keep looking at me. That she can't help it, y'all. I'm
like
sorry. I'm
conversation.
getting fussed at today. Y'all know she's a traveling person. She would have been here earlier so we can do a little run through stuff. But she's a very high influential woman. Put it right here if you can. So that because she wants to keep looking at me. So if you put it here, she can. I'm sorry, y'all. So she can look into the camera, y'all. Okay, how is that, everybody? Okay. Okay, so
I purposely, he basically code blue. They did say that the paramedics tried to revive him quite a few times, that he was strong. He tried to fight back, but unfortunately, the loss of oxygen. He basically was considered brain dead, but they wanted to kind of stabilize him to kind of do further testing. I just knew that by any means necessary, carry him through the next day. I did not want his death date to be my father's birthday.
And so how's your dad? I mean, well, how is the birthday for your dad now every year? Are you trying to make it more celebratory in a different way?
We concentrate on my father first and foremost.
Yeah.
This year I have a incredible group of sister girls who I'm queen of surprises, and so they do their best to surprise me. But they collectively came to the house. I was already doing like a birthday dinner at my house for my father and some of his siblings. But they kind of descended on the house because I told them I don't think I want to celebrate Jalen's death. I think people want to do something to honor them. I go out to his gravesite, but he's with me every day, all through the day.
Tell me about Jalen's journey, because I saw your website, just so amazing. 360.
So Read 360
and then
is
Jalen's
like
journey. So tell me about that.
So Read 360 is me. Me is sort of like a open journal of my journey of healing, and I'm doing it kind of out loud. And then Jalen's journey basically is where we're doing activations to focus on young boys, young men. So we did vaccinations. We, unfortunately, due to COVID, wanted to do more things, but we kind of have to shift and wait until next year.
Okay.
But we want to focus on Jalen's peers, that peer group. So 30 days after he was taken from us, I did a private dinner with about 30 of his closest friends and family members and asked them, if you had an abundance of resources, what would you do so you don't end up like Jalen? Because Jalen to them was the one that it should never happen to, so it affected them. Unfortunately, I lost one of my cousins. He committed suicide a few days before Jalen's birthday last year. And so,
I'm so sorry.
Him and Jalen were like 6 months apart.
I think I saw that. That was like your other son. That was.
Yeah, well, AJ was my cousin. And then this year, I unfortunately lost my bonus son.
Right.
Greg,
okay.
Who lived behind us. He was murdered.
And he was Jalen's friend.
Yeah,
because they had
like
a bunch
brothers.
of pictures together. They were just like
always
together.
He lived right behind us. So he, again, was at my house when I had this conversation. And all of them honestly said, if you adults can create programs that teach us about conflict resolution and how to talk to each other, because you could create all these great other programs, but if we don't know how to communicate with each other, or if somebody tees us off and we don't know how to deal with conflict resolution, it doesn't matter how great the programs are.
Exactly.
First thing we're doing is pulling out our gun to defend ourselves. They also said we don't see images of Black men showing what they considered at the time a weakness of crying or showing emotion.
Right. We do a series called Real Men Cry, which, yeah, you're right.
And so they don't see that. And because
exactly.
they don't see that, they don't know. And so they are growing up in this PTSD environment, emotionalist.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it is having no disregard of life, but then they don't have any regard for their own life. And so that's where we're kind
Jalen's journey's about having that conversation with men
them and getting them involved in part of the solution, because it's them who is affected,
right?
Not us creating programs and then want to throw it on them. I don't think that's how it should work.
And so, how are you doing? I see you.
I do moment by moment.
Moment by moment. Now, are you, you don't have to share, but this is the Brain Truth about mental wellness. So
I'm very open and transparent.
Are you seeing anybody? Are you making sure that you are self-caring?
Absolutely. Immediately after Jalen passed, I said, I have to go see a grief counselor.
Okay.
I recognized I needed to, because those old stitches from losing my brother, we never went to counseling. We found out who murdered. We went to court for 13 months. I had a son. I was in school. My younger brother was in school. So life just kind of happened and got away with us. Jalen happened, and it was just like, and because their deaths were so parallel, my brother was wearing blue and white. Jalen was wearing blue and white. They were both 21. They were both 3 months shy of finishing something. Jalen's school. My brother was 3 months shy of going to the Navy. They were both shot in an apartment complex. They were both shot right outside of a car door. They were shot next to a blue dumpster, both of them. So it was deja vu. Oh, absolutely. And so knowing that the same part of Syreeta was just like, chick, you need to go get help. And so it took me about 3 times to find a good counselor. The first 2, I called my job and we're just like, y'all need to get your money back.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
They just wasted
we have a Brain Gang member that says all therapy is not the same.
Yeah.
Right.
This one guy had me talk, but the energy, I wasn't feeling it. And then at the end, he was just like, time. And I was like, time what? He's just like,
just wasn't being present.
Time.
So
yeah.
you have therapy every week? Are you
when
consistent?
I finally found someone,
okay.
I did go twice a week for quite a few. So I kind of weaned myself.
Okay.
And then it got to the point where one day I was sitting on my living room couch and I lost it. And I became so paralyzed that I found myself unable to pick up the phone and call anyone. And that scared me, because I have quite a few sister girls who are nurse practitioners. And I'm looking at and I hear it in my head, but I could not move my arm to pick up the phone and call. And I was so terrified that I would what if I can't come out of this trance space that I'm in? So I was in it for a while.
Okay.
And once I came out of it, I immediately called my grief counselor, and she was I ended up getting cameras in my house.
Okay.
So my brother has access. So if I go into a depressive mood, I know, let me sit on my living room couch so he can see me. I might not answer my phone. I may not be responsive to the door. But I do it so somebody can have eyes on me.
So when was the last time you got into one of those?
It's different roller coasters. So around my birthday was very emotional because I realized this, even though he's been gone 4 years, it was my 5th birthday.
Yeah, it's been 5 years. It's been
4 years.
Wow.
But my birthday was he passed away in August. My birthday was in October.
Right.
So that was birthday number 1. And so I have a good support system.
Okay.
And they know how to show up even when sometimes I can't add. They know me enough to know my energy and to come, because sometimes you want to call for help, but you don't want to disturb anybody, because it may just be 5 minutes or 5 seconds.
Disturb somebody. Put me on that list, please. I got the brain gang. That's what we're here for. I need to be on that list. Seriously.
But one time I think it was probably at 10 o'clock at night, and I was going through something really heavy. And I was calling everybody, who says, call me, and nobody was answering. And again, I'm angry because I'm like, you all promised that you would be there for me. But again, the sane part of Syreeta understands they may be asleep, whatever. So I picked up the phone and I called my girlfriend out in California. And she answered the phone and she's like, hey, Syreeta. And she's joyous. And it took her a minute to realize that I hadn't said anything. And then she said, Syreeta, are you okay? And all I can utter was, pray for me.
Okay. Okay.
And sometimes that's the hardest thing, to ask for help.
Yes.
And she just ministered and prayed for me, and I felt good. I was able to bring me off of that.
There's so many people that love you, Syreeta. I am one of them. And, just so you know, there are resources. NAMI has 24-hour warm line. I could provide you with some of the things that I use, because I've been 2, 3 in the morning, 1 o'clock. I mean, I suffer from PTSD, depression, anxiety. And so in case, you're in those moments and you can't reach people because, life keeps going on, there are people that are available all the time. That's all they do. And I've got some really cool people on my team that are available to you, because I cannot imagine, the journey you've been. But the things that you're doing, though, in the place of the world, in the place of healing, is phenomenal. That's why I had to give you flowers, girl. Because your smile, I watch you. Oh yeah. Can I say, her best friends are real famous, y'all. She hanging out with the twins, the Serena and
Venus and Serena.
Venus. Honey.
Let me do a shameless
plug. Do a little plug, honey.
King Richard, this Friday, November 19th. It is a must-see movie. I was blessed.
What is it? I saw it. I still don't know what it is. It's with Will Smith or something? Okay, Tell me about it. Because she just came back from the premiere, right? Okay.
We did a Friends and Family on Saturday and then the premiere on Sunday. It's really about the story of Mr. Williams, Richard Williams.
Okay.
And
the dad.
Uh-huh. And he taking the girls, or having a plan for them, and executing that plan despite every obstacle thrown his way. And it's not just about him as well. It's about the family as a collective unit, because Miss Oracene is just as strong, just as powerful. I think for me, I really felt the film because I know them intimately.
So Will Smith played the dad?
Correct.
And Serena and Venus are producers? Or are they in it as well?
They're not in it. So their older sister, Isha,
okay,
helped to bring it to life. The girls definitely had say. Venus was able to take the script, and just make it authentic. So it is of them, because a lot of it, you're seeing Venus as she becomes, like opening up the doors for
Yes.
even her sister. The characters, literally, I'm at the premiere, I'm looking at the girl who plays Serena, and I'm looking at Serena, and I'm like,
And you're
Serena,
thinking it's them.
Like, she's got you down to a pact in the movie. But it's definitely about putting family first.
Thank you, Aisha.
And making sure that you can't let other people dictate what you have planned for your life.
That's right.
Or what you're planning for your family, because he wasn't taking nothing from no one.
Now, your brother, is their attorney or agent or something, or
so we're all like family? Yeah.
Get to hang. I mean, she's like for real friends with them, y'all. Like
the domino effect, honestly.
Like for real.
And I have to give Michelle Williams like straight kudos.
Okay.
Michelle, I mean, when Jalen passed away, I just remember her coming to the living room and was just like, read what we do.
Okay.
How do I use my social media platform? What do I need to do? So the domino effect is my brother went to college with Michelle. Michelle, while they were in college at I-State, came on to Destiny's Child.
Right.
So then my brother being part of that as, the girl group, and then being introduced, of course, to Kelly and to B, and then Kelly introduced my brother to Lynn, which is like the middle daughter, because my brother loves tennis. He eats, breathes, lives, and shits. Tennis.
Shit, that's $1. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm kidding.
He divorced tennis. So Lynn introduced her then to Venus and Serena. And
now Michelle and Venus, they're not related. They're not.
No, like I said,
I was about to say
that's
separate.
From that
okay, so
effect.
that's a domino. Okay, got it. I'm like,
Effect.
Michelle's really okay.
So and then like in 2008. I lost my job at Tribune, downsizing because of the economy, and Venus had just launched her collection. Actually, I got a shirt.
I love the stuff that you guys have and do. Now, if you guys, I know some people are saying things here to Syreeta. A lot of people, I think, Aisha, I saw you say something. If you guys want to call in, the number is 708-223-8953, 708-223-8953. Aisha Charleston Johnston said, wow, I'm very sorry for the multiple losses she has endured. I'm sorry, I was just engaged in this conversation. So if you guys had questions or you were saying anything, I was not. I'm going to get beat up today. I am just, because I'm not looking in the camera here. I'm looking at my sister girl, and sorry. Oh my God, this is so good. Thank you, Derek. This is good. Yeah, she's a force to be reckoned with. So again, I have Syreeta Talbert. She is founder of Jalen's Journey and Read 360, which is changing the lives of young men in mental illness and PTSD, having them be able to have a platform to talk about it and come face to face with it. And then you also did something with women. It was like a women's something. So what was that?
Mother's Day. So Jalen passed away in and I hate saying passed away because I got to be very specific. He was murdered. And I, some people just like, it's too hard. I need to make sure it wasn't a car accident, it wasn't illness.
Like Ayanna Van said, call a thing, because then it becomes real, and that's where you have to go in and deal with that.
He was murdered, right? Someone else decided to take his life. So that Mother's Day, I know me, I have to do something for someone else to help channel I have to keep my mind busy. So in 2018 for Mother's Day, which was my first Mother's Day without Jalen, to make sure, again, that I didn't go down a downward spiral. If I did something for someone else, it keeps my mind on a positive space.
Carmelita.
And then I reached out on social media and ended up blessing about 12 mothers with blessing boxes that I created, just of things to make them smile, happy, multi-sensory things, candles. I started to really get into my candle making then. And I just, like you, I just rolled up to their house. Here you go. I flew out of town to give some to some people, that they will refer to me. This Mother's Day, we did a candle workshop. So it allowed us to channel our energies of loss into creating something beautiful and honor and that light representing our lost child's life, and then you feel connected with it. It works on your senses because you're being creative. You feel it uplifts your mood.
So you made the candles?
So we made candles.
I want to
at the
learn.
event.
Are you going to do it again?
I am, because
I
some
wanna
people ask me
come.
would I do just like candle events, and I'm like,
Yeah, that candle. I burnt the heck out of that candle. I
that was
need
called
another.
Reawaken.
I
You
loved
could lift
it.
this in peppermint. I
So
believe.
she dropped off to my house. It was so cool.
And
It was
at
like
night too.
it was at night. It was something. This is what I'm telling y'all.
It was National Friendship Day.
Okay.
And what I did
See,
was
she knows that kind of stuff. Who knows? I'm not a good friend. I'm sorry. When is National Friendship Day? Sorry, friends.
So it was National Friendship Day, and what I did was I did a montage, which is why you got the QR code of different.
Yes, who did? She did a montage. It was a video. I'm going to put it on my site.
It was like 7 videos.
It was like, and it was funny, and it was different costumes. And so she brought this candle. It was, again, it'd be right on time because I was in my room crying. And then she said, I'm bringing you something, sister. And she said, scan the QR code, which my son had to help me do. And then there was this big old video that showed up. It looked professional, very Hollywood.
It was very from the iPhone. My niece Taylor.
Girl, it was. I need her to do one for me. And it was just songs, and you animated, and and literally, I'm telling you, Syreeta, you have something. You got something. I don't know, but you have something so precious that he has left in your soul.
Well, let me tell you about, the gift he left me.
Wait a minute, hold on for a minute. We got somebody calling in. People love you, girl. We need 2 hours, so we're gonna come back. She's gonna co-host with me. Hold on for a second. Hi, this is The Brain Truth with Allison Jordan. Who's here?
This is Carmelita.
Hi, Carmelita. So Carmelita is a friend of mine, and I think I mentioned this to you. Carmelita, tell her what you want to say.
I just think it's beautiful that she's speaking out, and she's telling her story, and it's a lot of mothers, especially here in Chicago, that can relate to what she's saying. I lost my son too, and I just don't think there's a lot of support out there for us, and everyone can relate to how we feel. So it's like relieving to hear somebody else that knows what we're going through.
Yeah, she was the one that, this is one of my sister. So you want to speak some life to her? Because this has just happened for her.
So Carmelita, my ears, my heart, my phone is open for you. I actually went and got my certification in trauma counseling because I wanted to understand it from a professional point of view while putting our professional real world experience, because I know that a lot of people, unfortunately, in our shoes, it's hard to go see a counselor. I get it, because the first thing I did as my counselor was, how can you help me if you've never lost a child?
Exactly. Yes.
How can you counsel me if you can, because you can only meet me to the edge. So are you telling me what I need to be told because it's textbook, or are you giving me background based on other people? I get it, and I respect the profession, but also how genuine and transparent can you be with me if you've never felt the feelings of having a child murdered? So to respect that space, I did go to the University of Milwaukee and take a certification in trauma to understand it from a professional point. And then because I have the actual experience, and so I put myself out there wholeheartedly to anyone, especially those of us who've lost a child to murder, because we get people who they empathize and they sympathize with us, but like my bonus son's mom, we could be 2:00 in the morning and we know what we're going through. We feel it, and it's that comfort in knowing. So I'll make sure you get my number.
Thank you, Syreeta. And Carmelita, I definitely love you. And, I'm always praying for you and sending you messages. I think I'm going to have Syreeta on the Brain Gang. She don't know. She has a bigger task. And be a go-between for grieving mothers. And we can do a whole series on it because it is happening a lot in the city. And fathers.
Because I think on top of us, Carmelita, we get the empathy and sympathy in people, but
Yeah,
those
but those
fathers,
fathers.
they get it the day of, and it's like they're forgotten. So
Right.
I make sure I check up on my son's father often.
Oh,
He's in counseling. He's
okay.
doing good.
Okay, good.
You know, but I
Good.
think the Black men as well, they need that support.
Yes. So I'm gonna get her number to you, Carmelita, and I'll call you later. I love you, sister.
Love you too.
Okay,
Thank
baby.
you so much, and I'm gonna continue watching. Thank you all.
Bye bye. Yeah, like again, strength.
So here's the thing: when you talk about strength,
Woo, this is amazing. Hey, gang, and I think Dr. Getting said something. Put that back on the screen. I'm going to read that for you.
Okay.
One of Dr. Gettings is our psychiatrist who works with the Brain Gang.
Okay.
And she said, thanks so much for sharing your story with us this evening, praying for your continued healing, praying for the healing of all those who have lost a child to gun violence. Thank you, Dr. Gettings.
Thank you, Doctor. The main thing I tell people is when they say, Syreeta, you're so strong, I tell them that's when I'm at my weakest, and it's God carrying me.
Wow.
Um,
Say that one more time for the people way back in the back in the back, honey.
When people say, Syreeta, you're so strong, to the outside, it may look like I'm strong, but that is when I'm at my complete weakness. And it is God carrying me through, and I got a big booty, so it's a whole lot on his back he's carrying, right? But I have to give this testimony. 6 months after Jalen passed away, I was in his room on the 11th, a Sunday, and I was in the bargaining stage. And I asked God, if you give me a chance to be a mother again, whether it be surrogacy, foster, go back to my son's father,
that's a whole other show.
Right? Adoption, I wouldn't do anything different. I think I raised Jalen incredibly with the resources he was exposed. I would just be more present. So the whole, give me 5 minutes, give me 10 minutes, I'll be right with you. I would be very present, very in the moment.
Good.
And less than 24 hours later, God let me know that I had a 3-year-old grandson that we didn't even know existed. And so I tell people,
wow.
But God. I prayed on a Sunday. I need y'all to hear me. I prayed on a Sunday.
Yes.
And he showed up on a Monday.
Yes.
With the whole 3-year-old potty trained.
Wow. That's even better. They came potty trained, ready too.
And he is the epitome of Jalen with his own personality.
I think I saw the picture you posted a lot on. He looks like him.
Jalen peed him out.
Yes, looks just like him. And I didn't know because I saw the picture. I'm like, she had that picture, but her hair is the same color. But that's Jalen as a baby. I thought somebody made that photo. No, but that's him. That's the grandbaby.
So he's literally my second heartbeat. My reason why I can't give up.
So I'm gonna hold your hand, and I'm gonna tell you that I love you so much, and I thank you for coming here and just being transparent. I'm going to hug you real hard when this is over. There's some people asking about getting the candle. There's some people wanting to know how to get in touch. Do you want to give that link really fast?
So you could go to RHEE360.com, and just so you know, a portion of your purchase goes back to Jalen's journey. Pretty much all of it. I take no funds. I put it back so we could create the activations to help our young men in our community. So RE360.com.
RE360. You know what I'll do? I'll put a hyperlink on thebraintruth.com. Okay. I'm going to put that video too that she sent me on there, just so if anybody wants to laugh and see her beautiful spirit, it can enlighten and brighten your day. Thank you for being here, Syreeta. She's going to come back. So I just want to say thanks for watching. The time goes by so fast, y'all. RE360. Thank you, Stephanie, for putting it up. Next week, we will be doing the gratitude show. We're going to be doing a lot of giveaways. If you want to give away some stuff, we're going to be having people call in. We're going to give away some turkeys, some free consultation with some of our Brain Gang members. I'm going to have my girlfriends in here if you want to stop by. Can I bring champagne in here too? We're going to have champagne. I'm going to have some hors d'oeuvres. We're just going to have us a little party, and we're just going to have a good time next week. We're going to do a gratitude show, okay? Thank you, Derek. Thanks for sharing your story. We love you. Again, this is Allison Jordan, 1.8 with Syreeta Talbert on The Brain Truth with Allison Jordan on intellectualradio.com and iHeartRadio station. See you guys next week. Bye, Brain Joe.
Tune in to The Brain Truth with Allison Jordan every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central. Repair, renew, reclaim.